what's happening, news? Welcome to Keeping It Real with your host KP, who loves to spoil you with the truth, which is not much to ask. That's the bare minimum, surely. Or are you just loving red flags? Do you just so attracted to red flaggy things? Because I'm telling you now, Instagram everywhere is full of them. So sometimes I just get exhausted, man. Like this last couple of weeks, I have been arguing on the internet with strangers as if I've not got enough to do, you know, coaching hunters of birds, which is like herding cats in a hurricane, and then living with 3 birds, my wife and my 2 daughters. So it's like a big shit sandwich. So then the last thing I want to be doing is arguing with strangers on the internet, but they're having me do it. Not only that, is I'm actually not confrontational. I've got a big mouth. My mum calls me that. It's actually a name she calls me, because I'll just speak without thinking, and then I've said it and I'm a cheeky bastard, but then I can't deal with the repercussions of that person being raging, so I'm like, I'm not confrontational, but yet I can't stop myself from like causing it. So this week we've had a bit of a drama, haven't we? If you've been following me on Instagram at Keeping Fit, KPING Fits, hopefully you are, I have been arguing with Davinia Taylor, who is a Hollyoaks actress. That's brilliant. It's amazing, isn't it? So I've been arguing with her followers, who are very loyal. Like, I'm talking DMing me. So she went on this morning spouting a whole load of shit, as she does. Like, she is selling you supplements. So if you remember the Betterware catalogue, if you remember the Avon, like, these folk are hustling, door chatting, going round doors. I'll come back for that catalogue in a couple of days. Make sure you fill out the form. If not, then you leave the catalogue, because I'm coming back for it. You know what I mean? You're buying ridiculous things like potato graters that turn into a hairbrush. So you remember all that. Now think of the Betterware catalogue and all that online, constant bombarding. Like, Betterware was once a month? Now it's constant daily stuff getting fired at us. And she's one of the biggest culprits, and I'm not being shite. Like, our protein powder is just a protein powder, it's nothing magical. Then she sells other things like this, cracks me up, electrolytes they drain the water out you at the same time. So a diuretic electrolyte is the same as having an inflatable dartboard. What the fuck? These two things don't go together. So I'm like, an electrolyte is to hold the water in your cells, although you don't need them unless you're a super, super sweaty cow. Like, you are just one of them birds. You know how you see those people and you're like, fuck, she's pissing out sweat. Just sweaty. Just get that, right? And that's all right. I'm not saying, but you get sweaty folk. So maybe if that's you, or you're doing some sort of like ultra run where you're going hours without eating, then you could spend this money on electrolytes. But other than that, you're a maw, you just want to feel a bit better, look good when you go your holiday. You don't need to be spending mega money on electrolytes. That's not the problem. That's not why you feel fucked. You're not like, I'm shattered because I'm low on electrolytes. You're shattered because you're getting shouted 25 million times a day to do something. You're spinning hundreds of plates. You've got glass balls and you've got plastic balls. And sadly, you have made yourself a plastic ball, which you drop all the time. Everybody else's shite's all glass balls that you're juggling. And then you think that a little sachet of salts and various other electrolyte is going to solve your problems. No way, man. It's just taking money out your bank account. You don't need them. But anywho, Davinia, all right, she'll say you do need them. But so they pull water into your cells, and a diuretic actually literally takes water out your cells. So I'm like, that's what she does. She takes money out your fucking bank account. There it goes. That's like what her electrolytes in, back out. So this is the problem you've got, right? You can sell anything on internet. You can sell anything on Amazon, right? I could go and just pick up a pile of red chuckies from my driveway, weeds and cat shit and all that, grind it up and put it in a bottle and be like, this powder's going to fix your cortisol belly. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just easy done. Before, You go into a shop to sell, there's standards, trading standards, things are regulated, tested. You know what I mean? Is that a fake Calvin Klein t-shirt? Hope not. No. On the internet, nothing. And I see if you've got a bit of clout, like you were on Hollyoaks, and a bit of money because you were on Hollyoaks, then you can push stuff like this. And obviously, if you have had a troubled life, we love that. We love the underdog. And I'm not saying anything, it's great, right? She used to be an addict. She says she was an alkie. I get that vibe off her because she seems like a dopamine chaser. Quite like myself, we all have our issues, right? I used to smoke ganja every night so that it would just stop my thoughts from spiralling. I was planning people's funerals who were sitting next to me watching the telly. They're watching the telly and I'm like singing their funeral song in my head. Like, oh my God. Like, I had intrusive thoughts. I had insomnia, anxiety, which means that as I was coming to bed, I was feeling anxious about sleeping. And the irony is that was then keeping me up. So like, yeah, that's what I had. I did that before I learned how to sort of like master my mind and do other things that weren't, you know, causing me to eat everything in the house, cause munchies, feel like shit the next day. And it's just not the best thing to be relying on. Do you know what I mean? So she uses obviously the fact that now, yeah, fine, she's a dopamine chaser. She's always like changing to the next thing, man. It's just like, whoa, take a breath. But now, obviously, she's got this loyal fan base because of her story, because she's done well. We love when people, you know, come through struggle. That's all great. But we have to remember that she is a saleswoman as well. She's selling you this. Now, you get a couple of types of people online who are selling stuff. People who know it's bullshit and they're still selling it, right? Or people who just aren't educated enough on it, who think it works. Maybe, you know, it worked for them in a way because they cleaned up their diet alongside the supplement and now they're like, this supplement helped me, right? And then they just don't know and they're selling it to you. You're like, what one's kind of worse? Do you know what I mean? Hundreds and hundreds of emails I get all the time. And I'll look at them and it's like weight loss medication. If I sell it to you, then I get a, 8% discount code that I can give you and I'll make 40 pence of it. You'll then see stuff on TikTok shop like, you got a smelly vagina, and then you're like, what? And it's a wee bird like holding something crazy. At the bottom, commission paid. They're making 40 pence off that. They buy the supplements, they sell it in the hope that you will buy it. And by the way, see on that TikTok shop, they're hard sellers, man. They're up to all kinds to try and get that 40 pence. They're doing crazy shit. That's what I'm saying. It's like, remember QVC, Better Wear, all of that? Or do you remember you used to go in real life to these kind of events? I remember going with like my mum and dad. It'd be like the SEC, which is in Glasgow, and it would be stalls everywhere. And you'd be walking up to them and there would be like stuff that you don't need. But once you've watched it, you're like, yes, I definitely need that. That is exactly what I need. And it would be stuff like graters that turn into like hair dryers. Did you ever know you needed that? No, not till now. And they've got the sales patter and they're selling it to you because they want to make commission. They want to make money on it. And why would the internet be no different? Why would people like Davinia be no different? We're like funding a lifestyle here. She's raking it, cash cow material. So why is she not going to convince you that all your problems are because you lack electrolytes, you're lacking MCT oils? Like the stuff she was spouting on this morning was just like misinformation crazy. But again, she's got that clout behind her. So it's spotting these red flags online. So anyway, that's who I've been arguing with. Thankfully not her, because I don't know. I'd need to send Stacey to her because she's a firecracker, man. I would be quite frightened. But our fans are all like, you're just using her for traction. I'm like, if I wanted to really get traction, I would sell pictures of Stacey's feet because she's got beautiful feet, beautiful toenails, lovely sallow skin. I would do something like that. I'm not really up for like sitting arguing with middle-aged women whilst they're in between club runs. Do you know what I mean? Sitting in the car just fucking arguing with me because I've said that Davinia's talk shite. I mean, I'm telling you now about the electrolyte she sells that's got a diuretic in it, so I'm pulling water in but then a diuretic's rinsing it out. So what's the use of that? Electrolytes that you don't need, and they're probably a good price. Inflatable dartboard, chocolate teapot, absolutely useless shite. So it's just knowing that And I get it when there's a time in your life when you ain't feeling good. You're feeling, I'm not feeling good. My mental health's not feeling good. I'm not feeling good about myself. I've got a holiday coming up. I don't want to feel at this gym. I don't want to go on holiday and be pulling at my clothes, think about myself all the time. And you go on Instagram and then you see a supplement like that. I can see how you would get pulled into that. I don't like it. I'm raging about it because I would never want my mum, my missus, having their money scammed off them like that. Like, I'm quite tight, I'm Scottish, do you know what I mean? We walk about Home Bargains and Stacey will lift a candle and I'm like that, that's £7 for that candle, you just burn it and it's just in the bin. I'm that person, right? I'm your man probably that does that. So I don't want you spending money on this shit. I just think it's just so predatory, and for a time in your life when you're feeling like that, perimenopause being one of them, shit sandwich, you don't really know what's going on. And the reason we don't as well, because there's no blueprint for just like, this is what happens in perimenopause, this is what it means for you, we do this, this and this. Because if that was the case, then easy, you'd get a manual, here it is. But it's so different. It's like your fingerprint, man. It's like some people are getting itchy ears, some people don't. Some people get the ringing in the ears, never had it. Moods, some people breeze it, some people don't. Some people feel like they're putting weight on, some people don't. Some people are getting night sweats, some aren't. So that's why it's just so different. So when that time comes and you're wanting, I'm terrified, because no wonder the internet makes you terrified of perimenopause. And I hope you've seen the post I did with one of my really good clients, Laura, who looks cracking. She is on HRT. She knows exactly what's going on with that. She's worked with somebody really good who's coming on to the podcast, by the way. And she really does well with her diet. She used to be in the toxic diet culture, but now she eats really well. She has her moments of not, but trains strength. She listens to me and she looks amazing. And she's perimenopausal, so if that was the case, I wouldn't have cracking. I've got loads of clients that are in perimenopause that are in cracking shape, feel really good, they're taking care of their health. It's not like you're signing a death sentence like that. What age are you? 42? Do you know the Macarena? Do you know who Gina G is? Well, I'm sorry to say you're going to feel fucking shite, right? So then what? So I'm feeling shite. I'm feeling like I'm just not wanting to have sex with my man, but then he's pissed me off. I'm fucking doing everything for everyone, and then he expects to fucking have sex at night, right? So you're feeling all this way. You're like, oh my God, is there supplements? Is there something I can take? Then you're scrolling on the TikTok shop and they're like, you feeling like shite? You're not wanting to have sex with your man? You feeling moody, teary, fat, mental belly? And you're like, yes, yes to all of this. Boom, in the basket, sold, gone. Now, then I come on Instagram or other people who aren't scamming you, because I'm going to say something that might piss you off, and I don't know what day of the month you're on, but if anyone's selling you inflammation diet, menopause diet, supplements for fat loss, burners, GLP, patches, all of that, that's not going to work. You can't argue with physics, like you can't argue with thermodynamics. You aren't putting timber on for calories you're not eating. It's just how you get into that calorie deficit the healthiest way, and the way it's not going to like pure flip your life upside down. That's what I help with in the KP method, because I'm not having it. I've done things where I've been lying on the floor with coffee going up my arse, as we know. We don't need to get into that today. I've spent millions of pounds on supplements that I was trying to find something outside myself to make myself feel better. Lo and behold, it didn't work. Cut to me, absolute abolitious, the skinniest I've ever been, wearing jeans on the beach on holiday. People are wanting about in bikinis and swimming costumes because that's the attire you wear on the beach. Nah, not me. I was wearing jeans. I was so self-conscious and so body conscious in my own head, not enjoying myself on holiday, sweating my tits off. Have you ever denim on the beach? The sand, the sweat, just everything is not going well with jeans on the beach. Right, but that was where my head was, and that was with being the skinniest I'd ever been. So it tells you that you have to do other things, not just buy a supplement, not just lose as much weight as possible. There's a gap somewhere, but I know the gap. I'm going to tell you, so stop freaking. It's working on your actual self-esteem, your mindset, and it has to come from a place of love and not punishment, not buying shit you don't need, punishing yourself with the gym. Oh, I'm going to work this off because I had this. Oh, I'm not going to eat for the next week because I went out for lunch. I'm going to go on a juice cleanse because I did this. Like all those patterns, that's just what keep us stuck, right? So what actually works is not buying expensive supplements, right? But getting the foundations right. What is your actual pattern of eating? Are you somebody that eats shit? Are you a greedy wee cow? You know what I mean? Are you like that? You've always you need your jaws wired, you're hoovering like biscuits over the kitchen sink. Are you having food amnesia because you're just picking all day? But I hardly eat meals, but you fucking ate every sweetie that was in here. Do you know what I mean? Where's the crisps? I've just bought the crisps. You ate the crisps. So you're doing stuff like that. What is your actual pattern of eating? Being honest, laying it all out. Not that I'm tracking for 2 weeks and I've hardly, you wouldn't honestly be feeling like this carrying timber if you weren't overeating. It's literal science, but it's how we go about it. So that's the patterns of eating, and you can only work out the patterns of eating by becoming aware of what you're up to. And when you become aware, you can then make the changes because you've got that mindfulness that you didn't have, because maybe, this happens a lot, my women 35 and over, doing everything, spinning a million plates at the one time, but trying to look hot and sexy, but then also try to be really good at work, but then also being a really good mum, yes, and a good friend and a good daughter, and doing all the things because that's our job. We need to be great at everything and doing everything. So then, you know, they don't check in with themselves. They can't take the time to work out their pattern. I mean, they're not working out their pattern, they're not mindful, they feel out of control. They're controlling so many things in their life, everyone else's life, that these things they just feel out of control with. They feel out of control with their health and their weight, because it's easy to put yourself to the bottom of the pile until you start to unravel and you don't feel good. And then you start to think, I need to do something about this. And then you look for that quick fix because you have decision fatigue. It's the only thing you can be bothered with. Me saying, we need to look at your pattern, you're like, fuck that, I'm busy, I'm up to here. And that's your up to here with life admin. If I had to look at your screen time, it would tell me otherwise. You're probably just doom scrolling because it's the peace and quiet you get to just get a dopamine hit of something because you're fucking drained. Do you know what I mean? Question, what you having for your dinner? See if that question's like, oh my God, then you're just doing too much. So having to sit down with a coach, ideally me, because I'm the best, and look at your patterns. So we discussed patterns of eating. So that's where I'd be looking at. Are you a stress eater? Are you eating your feelings? Are you eating when you're not hungry? Do you even know when you're full? Do you eat a plate of dinner until it's completely gone, or do you eat a dinner until you feel full? Like looking at patterns of eating. But then not only that, and I don't want to feel like it's a second job, but see, once you get this right, it just runs smoother instead of this uphill battle that you're always doing, signing up for this, doing 6-week beach body of that, all this shite that you're always doing. None of that works. See, if you just get the work done and you work ideally again with me because I'm the best, we just streamline it. I don't want to feel like health's a second job. I want to feel like health is who you are, it's your identity, but it takes work to get to that point. That's why it's not a quick fix that I can ever sell, because I just know it's shite, I just know it won't work. So when I see people like Davinia, when I see shite coaches doing a 6-week beach body, it boils my piss, because I'm like, they're just fucking taking your money. Just taking your money. Save that and go and buy your fucking home bargains candle, instead of buying this shit, because it's not going to work. You can't change your identity, you can't do things that quickly in 6 weeks. All you could probably do is, follow the plan, get to your holiday destination, feel it's shite and pile it back on until your next 6-week challenge appears. But what you are is you're a cash cow, because I get a picture of you looking fat and miserable in a pair of pants, but then I get the next picture of you, a wee bit of fake tan, your hair brushed, and a new pair of pants for my Instagram. So when people feel like how you felt when you signed up, looking at my Instagram, they're like that, look at her, Jim, she's in a pair of these pants and then those pants, and then I sign up for it. So then I'm just like, it's just like a fucking pipeline of people sad in their pant size that they don't want to be in, and I'm not taking part in that, and I will stand up for that, because I was that person. The amount of things I did, signed up, bought, I was that person lying on the floor in my pants. Well, not my pants, apparently I had no pants on because I had coffee going up my arse, but do you know what I'm saying? I was you, and I'm here to help you. So we're not doing that, because see, if, honestly, I wanted to, and I wanted to make cash off you, I'd fucking do it. I had to be like that, join my 6-week beach body enema kit included. I'm so sorry. So I will always say that that's a pile of shit, because it is. So we looked at the patterns of eating. Let's look at the patterns of thinking. That's a big one. It's the thing that used to be missing all the time when I was in the gym floor, PT, which is a very dated, I'm sorry, it's quite a dated way to work if you're a coach. And if you're a coach listening to this, then even get in touch with me and I'll help you out. But if you're a coach, you need to really be coaching somebody in all the different elements of their lifestyle. Fitness and health isn't just an hour in the gym, it's the 23 other hours outside of the gym, and that was the gap. That's where I wasn't getting good results. With my female clients in particular, my guys sort of robotic, they're fine. My women, it was like their patterns of thinking that was holding them back quite a lot, and I couldn't work in that in an hour in the gym. Like in the method, there's master classes, like I'm brainwashing you in the method. I need time to do that. That's not an hour of you bitching about your man and me counting to 10 wrong. That's just not going to cut it. So I do a lot of work on the mindset, because you have to reverse firstly getting to your why. So when I do the kickstart calls, which anybody is welcome to do if you think this would be beneficial, I do the kickstart calls and I get very surface level at the start. Obviously I'm a stranger on the Zoom, like Lockie D vibes, do you know what I mean? You're kind of talking to me. You saw me running about in a wig on my Instagram, and now I'm chatting to you, so it is weird. And I'll ask them, right, what is it you're looking for? What's kind of your goals? What are you thinking here? And they'll say just surface level stuff like, I just want to lose a bit of weight, and I've got a holiday coming up and stuff like that. But then what we have to do, because that is so surface, that's not going to do anything, is peel it off. So why do you want that? Why can't you just feel happy the dress size you are? I've got clients all different shapes and sizes. It doesn't, somebody at size 18 still happy and confident could be more so than me shredded on the beach in my jeans. So you don't arrive at a dress size of confidence. That's not what happens. So I have to get down to the layers of why that person feels that way. Normally it's like deep-rooted self-belief and, toxic diet cultures. Usually a lot of the time what they've seen as a child from the parent doing all crazy stuff. Just a wee word of warning if you do have kids, to be mindful of that, because they pick loads of shit up that you don't even realise. Like me and Stacey, like when we're trying to talk, we're trying to mouth things in silence and they still see it and go, what? Who? You're like, fuck. So you've got to be careful, they're watching all the time. So you are looking at patterns of that, patterns of all the diets you've done, all that pick a mix of fucking crazy that you are. And that's just going to go away. That's just going to go away because you've snorted electrolytes. That's gone. Oh, because I signed up for a 6-week fucking shite food plan that I can't keep up. That whole pick a mix of crazy just disintegrates. Of course it doesn't. It's just waiting there in the sidelines. Bad Sandy like that. Yes. So you've got to work on that. You've got to unpick the pick a mix. So that's what I help with. We look at stuff like the old diet culture, unpick that. We look at, because I've done this for 20 years, I see a different side to confidence, and it used to intrigue me so much. So, and I was even talking to one of my members today who was saying, like one of her friends is a size 18 and she's confident, super happy. And I'm like, exactly, because it's not a body size. Like you're shrinking and shrinking down, you don't get to it. In fact, it sometimes makes you feel a bit worse. So what is it? And it's brilliant, because you can actually build this, and it doesn't matter what you look like. You build it from within, and it's your self-esteem, because you don't just get it like you do if you're a guy. Sorry, Jim. Like, he's fully himself. But you have to build your self-esteem. And a lot of the time, women, we are very busy, we are spinning the plates, and because you put yourself to the bottom of the pile, you kind of tell yourself that you're not really worth caring for. And if you're not really worth caring for, you won't put the effort in. So even though you know the things to do, sometimes you're like, well, why am I not doing it? Well, you've just spent the last 15 years of putting yourself to the bottom of the pile because your kids have, that you've done everything for your kids and your man, now they're older and you're a bit like that. What the fuck's happened here? So it's having to go, no, it's not selfish. I shouldn't have mum guilt. I really need to put myself to the top of the pile so that I'm in a good state to deal with all this shit, because you're at war, yous, man. Yous have got a lot to do. And see as well, I love the fact that my mum takes care of herself. She's away at the gym now, she eats well, she does all the things, and I'm like, that's what I would want. I don't at one point go, who she thinks she is off to the gym? She should be pairing my socks. MD that loves you, wants to support you and wants you to become the best version of yourself, because listen, life is short. So instead of, looking for the next shiny thing that seems like a quick fix and just seems too good to be true, and it's short, just patch it, right? Know that real long-lasting change is going to take a while because of all the things that you really need to do, move about, clear out, unpick. That's the stuff that lasts, and that's the stuff that makes you stay in good shape all year so you don't feel like a yo-yo. It's what probably saves you a lot of money in the long run, actually, because you're not buying. I bought fucking all kinds of shite, 6-second abs off QVC. What was the... Right. But, the long game, so you're not having to constantly be the person that's thinking about food or punishing yourself or starting again Monday and all that shit, because who the fuck could be bothered with that? So I hope this was helpful today. You can always reach out to me. I'm not scary, but that is the scary move, to take that kind of weird first, can you help me? What's your coaching prices? Do you know what I mean? So just reach out and get a chat, and if I think this is great, then and you align and you're excited and I can help you out, which, it's rare that I'm not going to be able to. Sometimes I feel that we don't align, and that just gives me anxiety. So that type is not, that's fine. Then you just go and find somebody else that aligns with you. Can't be everyone's cup of tea, or you'll be a mug. But I'm pretty sure if you're listening to this, you follow me on Instagram, you're on the YouTube, that you like my style. So you can reach out to me. I'm from the MSN generation, so I will chat back to you. AOL, fucking MSN, firing, everything going at one time. But anyway, give us a wee shout. Also, if you watched this and you loved it, I would like to know as well, because sometimes you just think you're talking into the abyss and you're like, I'm just talking to myself. I feel like that in the house half the time. So get a wee reach out to me, let me know, share this with people that it might help, and subscribe. Don't really know what it does, but I do think it does something use. So anyway, take care.